Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer. All right, welcome back to the show. It is day 55, episode 55. That's right, 55 out of 100. Getting there. It's getting there. It's moving right along. But thank you guys for tuning in. In today's show, I want to answer a question that I received here at our annual conference in Salt Lake City, our Yoli Level Up Conference. And it was actually regarding events. You know, we are at conference, and a young man observed that, well, given the length of my career, why do I keep coming back to these events? Number one, and don't they get repetitive? Don't they get repetitive? For me, it's a two-part answer, right? The first part is, yes, it can to a degree get repetitive, because obviously there's not very many new things under the sky that I haven't seen in my 16 plus year career. Gosh, I can't talk today. 16 plus year career in network marketing, direct sales. Well, except for this year with Yoli, we're definitely changing the game and doing lots of new things and innovating in the space like I've never seen before. But I'll save that for another episode. Yeah. I mean, it definitely can get repetitive for me as a personal experience. However, the principle is that it should be repetitive, right? Again, there's nothing new under the sun. The fundamentals of building this business are still the fundamental. The thing is, if your organization is healthy and it's growing, there's always going to be new sets of eyes that see it, right? There's always going to be a fresh pair of ears to hear the message and to get motivated and to get trained and to be inspired. So, no, in a sense, in that sense, it never really should get repetitive, right? Because again, there's always a next generation in your team if your organization is growing. Now, if your business is stagnant, I can definitely see how things can feel repetitive going to events. Why do I need to go to this event? I heard this already. Why do I need to go to this event? I've seen and heard everything that you guys have to offer. It's always this, and this. Well, yeah, again, that's a perspective of someone whose organization isn't growing, and it's a little bit of a selfish perspective, right? Again, these as you grow your organization, you take more of a leadership position, and it's not about you, right? Like, leadership is not about you. It's about how can you serve your team, and serving your team is getting them to events, right? It's a big integral part of what we do in network marketing. The events are so important, and no matter what company. I don't think there's any company in our space that does not do events. So just be willing to take yourself out of the equation for in terms of like things feeling repetitive, and focus on serving your team and getting them to the events, and so that they can have those aha moments, so that they can have those, so that they can be inspired to take their businesses to the next level, right? The second part of the answer for me is that no, it never really gets repetitive, because I'm a different person than I was a year ago, right? I'm a different person than I was 5 years ago. So there's always, no matter if I hear, well, if the coaches and the mentors and the speakers are also growing, they're going to package and deliver the message in a fresh new way. But also, again, for me, I'm always growing, right? I'm always expanding myself. So I'm going to be in a different position, in a different place mentally, emotionally, in my life than I was 12 months ago, than I was 24 months ago, and so on and so forth. So coming to the conference, it may be the very similar themes and principles, but I'm going to hear it with different ears, because again, my perspective has changed. I've grown since the last one. So in that sense, again, it's never, for me, the events are never repetitive. They really aren't. It's a whole new experience, a fresh experience every time. And I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about blank slate, but regardless of how often I've heard a thing, regardless of how many events I've been to throughout my career, I mean, again, 16 plus years in this profession, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of events in my time. um, regardless of any of that, I approach every situation. I mean, not even just events, but dealing with individuals one on one, connecting with individuals, connecting with groups, and of course events. I approach as many things. I approach everything as much as possible with a blank slate, so that way I'm not coming in with any judgments, any preconceived notions of, oh my gosh, this is going to be repetitive. Oh my gosh, this is going to be the same thing. When you go into a situation with a blank slate, then you can experience things fresh every time, no matter how often you think you've been there. So, yeah, that's the principle. Are events repetitive? No. I mean, they don't have to be if you don't want them to be, and that's really a choice that you can make. So focus on having a blank slate and experiencing all experiences with fresh new set of eyes and a fresh new set of ears. So that's the message for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.